The numbers are staggering. To know that women are disappearing, never to be seen again by their mothers, their fathers, their sisters, their brothers, gone, their children. It's just heartbreaking.
On September 7th, 2018, Angela McConnell was murdered. My sister was killed. I felt like the world stopped. Like everything just blacked out. Honestly, it just broke my heart.
Angela was a beautiful young woman. Just loving, caring, giving, loved her family, loved her brother. What she died from was a gunshot wound. That's how she died, close range. The shotgun. Part of me died. Yeah, but big emptiness. Big emptiness in my heart. And she's my daughter. She's my oldest, my only daughter I ever had. Yeah.
So MMIWG stands for Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women and Girls. Generally, it's based on this idea that Indigenous women are proven to go missing and be murdered at rates much higher than any other race. And when it comes to kind of the larger MMIW movement, we're not really hearing as much of a conversation about MMIW here in California. However, California has one of the highest rates of missing and murdered Indigenous people. There's lots of complicated jurisdiction laws that make it much more difficult to determine who exactly has responsibility for solving these cases, and so because of that, they tend to fall through the gaps and don't get the same level of attention of cases of other races.
So when we look at specific cases like the one with Angela McConnell and the deaths that occurred in Shasta County, it really brings to light the issues that we have around the maze of jurisdiction in Indian country. And what I mean by that is that you can be from a certain tribe, you can be traveling outside of your tribal area, and if something happens to you, you're subject to the law enforcement off of tribal lands that covers that area. And being in a community that's non-native and being native oftentimes brings with it all those stereotypes.
On a missing person's case, the first 48 hours that person goes missing is really critical to being able to return that loved one safely. And so our Indigenous people, they first have to spend within that 48 hours figuring out which jurisdiction to go to, so they're bounced around from jurisdiction to jurisdiction, and then once they finally find the right jurisdiction to report to, then they have to convince them that it's actually a crime and that something actually happened, because that is absolutely what we hear all the time from law enforcement, that, oh, that person's not actually missing, they're just out partying, they're out on a bender, they're basically missing because they want to be missing.
My daughter was murdered in Shasta Lake, September 7, 2018. To this day, there's no justice for her. There's no leads. The Shasta Major Crime Unit Department never returns any of my phone calls or emails. It's really hard as a mother to struggle every day for justice for my only daughter. The law enforcement does nothing for all these Indians, women, everywhere in Indian country. They don't do nothing for us. But that's what we need to do, people. We need to go right to law enforcement, go to the FBI, get on them, get right on them and tell them, this is what is going on in our Indian women. My daughter is gone forever, but I'm her voice now. Now I have to speak loud and bold and tell them that, I want justice for my loved one. And that's what I do every day.
The murder and disappearance of Native women by non-Natives is so significant but goes unaddressed. We're fooling ourselves if we think that it's not something we need to be concerned about. It's not happening to us. Even if we haven't lost a sister or a mother directly and are feeling that pain, we are feeling the pain. And I would want people to learn about the issue, to engage, to support the change of policies, legislation, and practices around how these cases are being addressed. We all need to show up. That's the important call to action. Show up. Use your heart and mind. Learn. Be a part of the movement.